guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. Of course, we're back here at Reeves Subaru, and we have some exciting car for you. This is a 2018 Mercedes AMG GT C convertible. But before we dive into this German drop-top twin turbocharged V8 monster, let's talk about what's going on here. So the AMG GT, coming off the success of the AMG SLS, this GT really checks off so many boxes when it comes to high performance, front engine, technically front mid-engine, twin turbo V8 power. It really showcases what Mercedes and AMG brings to the table, and boy oh boy does it give such a unique experience when in a day and age everybody and their mother is going mid-engine, including the almighty Corvette. AMG and Mercedes has taken this GT and really brought a lot of performance, but kept the engine at the front. Now, 2018 was a big banner year because that was the first year of this drop-top convertible edition. It was only available as a coupe for the previous year, but for 2018, we have that drop-top fun, and we still get the twin turbocharged power and extra performance. So let's go ahead. We're gonna find out if you are looking for a pre-owned drop-top convertible car that's a performance car, is this the one to get? Let's go ahead and check it out. Right off the bat, the white. There's some colors that just, for whatever reason, I don't know, it's like the stars aligning, the planets, different galaxies, the Milky Way. White, black, and silver on a Mercedes-Benz product. I don't care which one it is. They always look great. They always look great. So the white really fits this to a T. Starting up at the front of the business, I love the headlight design. You got full LED headlights, daytime running lamps, turn signals. The shape of the housing, very, very attractive. The way it kind of flows and then goes right into the fender very nicely. You come down, do we have fake vents? Hell no, we don't have fake vents. We got full functional vents in both corners. You can literally see the cooling that's gonna take place right behind this this horizontal slot here. A little bit of chrome trim. Now, if you're wondering, what is this here for? Believe it or not, this is DOT required. It's very similar to what's on the C8 Corvette, I guess for pedestrian safety. I guess my question is, if you're a pedestrian and you're winding up in that little air intake, any part of your body, my question is, what the heck were you doing to get that accomplished? But you can see, I love the way they take the front fascia, almost create its own lip spoiler here. So that's gonna give you downforce. We're gonna get air into the coolers there. And then as we come across that very low slung nose, I love the vertical, the horizontal. They got all the directions going on here. You have that iconic Mercedes-Benz star logo. So much history, not only behind Mercedes-Benz, but also AMG, of course, as well. A little bit of chrome, almost like a brushed aluminum chrome, some flat black. That lower lip extension gonna get more cooling. But from one side to the other, low, wide, and just very, very mean looking in a great way. It's like it's angry, but you want to hug it at the same time. Now, when I go up onto that low slung hood, you can see where the front fascia meets the hood. You got two heat extractors and a very, very nice subtle rise that goes all the way towards the windshield. Just classic front mid-engine. And you'll see what I mean by this whole front mid-engine vocabulary that I'm using today with this AMG GT when we pop the hood. Now, when we come around the bend, look what we got for wheels and tires. So we have this beautiful flat black machined with the split spoke. So this is a forged wheel. That means it's stronger and lighter than cast aluminum. Lurking behind that wheel, you can see the massive 6-piston calipers there with the AMG badging. You're gonna be able to clamp down on that rotor and stop time. AMG actually certifies that each one of these AMG GTs successfully stopped time for at least 2 seconds. And you could certify that on Google. Behind all the wheel action, you have that massive 2-piece rotor. So it's cross-drilled. You see these little angular slots there? That means it's slotted. That's to help with cooling. The 2-piece rotor helps with cooling, fully ventilated. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? So up front, we have a 19-inch wheel, and you're looking at 265 on the width and a very slim 35 series sidewall. Of course, underneath the fenders, you're gonna have some adaptive dampers that you could actually adjust as you're driving this vehicle. We go down the fender, super smooth, the wonderful curves, and then you're gonna have 2 horizontal slots here to help with that aerodynamic flow, and then you have V8 bi-turbos. So that's that bi-turbo, 2 turbos underneath the hood. This is all functional, just like the heat extractor. A little bit of chrome. So with this being a AMG GT C, it's almost like the C stands for class. You're getting a little bit more classy touch with the shiny bits on all 4 corners of the vehicle. So it does kind of make sense here, the way that they did it. A little bit here, the way the rear kind of flares out. And here's the good news. The reason why the rear flares out is that we have even wider tires. So we have 305s, 2 steamrollers. This is a rear-wheel drive car to get the power to the ground. You have your AMG badging forged wheel. Just a classy, classy look. I'm loving it. The more I look at it, the more I love it. And then when we get to the back, look at what we're working with. You're gonna have an active spoiler here. I kept it in the up position just to show you how much angle you're gonna get. That's gonna give us downforce. Really super clean, super smooth. We got that beautiful NSX. Somebody's taking it for a spin right now with that custom exhaust. You remember that review. If you haven't, click on it. You definitely wanna see a review of that NSX that we did. I like the way the top fits nice and flush. Doesn't kind of extend out. And then as we drop down, what are we working with? You got all LED lighting out back. You can see how they worked the exhaust, and this is functional exhaust. Little tiny bumperettes here, that is DOT required. Here you're gonna have your backup, your reverse lights down below. GTC badge, AMG, nice and wide. My only zonk is gonna be on the corners here. These are not functional. Those are not functional, but you can see just how wide it is, this center section is. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and check out that bi-turbo V8. All right, guys, we got the hood open, and like I was saying, front mid-engine. So feast your eyes where the engine is placed. The engine is actually behind the front axles, right against that firewall. That's gonna try to help with that 50-50 weight distribution. Up top, you have the 2 turbochargers of this bi-turbocharged system. What are we looking at? Power, you're looking at, out of the 4-liter V8, 550 horsepower, 502 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a 7-speed DCT transmission. You like it performance? This convertible brings it in heapings. You have 0 to 60, 3.5 seconds. Quarter mile goes by at 11.5 at 128 miles an hour. Top speed, 196. The car weighs 3,800 pounds. MPGs, 15 in the city, 20 in the highway. What I love about looking under these AMG GTs is that, first of all, that V8 is hand assembled. You could actually see the plate there with the person's signature. Second of all, they actually have a master's degree in engineering. So they go get their master's degree. Then there's a 2-year apprenticeship program to learn how to build that engine by hand, to assemble it by hand. This engine, like a lot of other performance cars that we feature on Rady's Rides, is what's known as being a dry sump oil system on the engine. So what that means is the oil for the engine is not all in the pan, in the oil pan. It's held in a separate reservoir, and it slowly feeds just the right amount of oil to lubricate all the inner bits. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, why would you do that? The reason why is because this is a performance car. When you're turning left and right, if all the oil is in the bottom of the pan, it's just gonna slosh around, and you could actually have oil starvation. With the dry sump system, that's guaranteed that you're not gonna have that issue, at least from that standpoint. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this German hand-assembled V8 and hear its roar. All right, guys, we're inside the 2018 Mercedes AMG GT C convertible. I know you're at that point, you're like, Joe, this thing looks brand new, and you are 100% right. Very, very well taken care of. How much is it? Now, when it was brand new, it had an MSRP well over $160,000. Reeves has it priced perfectly at $120,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. I'm loving the two-tone. That almost light milk chocolate brown with the dark material, spot on with style, the stitch work, the leather, the armrest is wonderful. You even have a little tiny pocket down there for some nice race winning Twinkies. Plus there's some carbon fiber, which I like. So they kind of threw everything when it comes to perfect materials at the door panel. When you come to the dash, look at the beautiful work. The contrasting stitch work looks great. The way they do their AC vents, lots of room on the passenger side, and then you're gonna get to the infotainment system. So we have that iPad style infotainment system. Is it a touch screen? No. You could touch it, but it doesn't do anything. You actually have to use the rotary dial, and I could go into, say, dynamic select, and I can make adjustments here. We could bring up that engine data. Very, very clear, nice, clean font. It's just not a touch screen, and it is that iPad style, but I like the way they kind of sunk it into the center area of the dash. You do have carbon fiber everywhere. Let me throw it in reverse real quick. I know Victor hates it when I make him move the camera too much, but there's our backup camera. You got nice trajectory, really, really super clear, so that's gonna help you in those tight situations. There's our data equipment there, readings and everything. Here's your beautiful AC vents, carbon fiber galore. You got your heated seat controls and everything. You keep working your way down. You have dual climate control, more carbon fiber. We slide open door number 1. Here's where you have your cup holders, your 12 volt. Close that up, look how nice that is. Wow, carbon fiber. Here's that rotary dial I was telling you about, or you could use the mouse style trackpad, or you got a plethora of different knobs and buttons. So if you want to go into different modes, like sport, you could actually just change it real quick right here on the knob instead of having to go into different menus, shut off the traction control, open up that active exhaust. Here's your shifter. Yes, the world's smallest shifter, little tiny nub. That's for that 7-speed DCT. We keep working our way back. Hard on the armrest, but the beautiful leather is to die for. You got that AMG logo there. We open this up and look what we got. We got a little party center here. So you have a little tiny cup for some Skittles. This is official Skittle, AMG Skittle cup. You have 2 USBs, another 12 volt. You got a remote to control your infotainment system, stereo and whatnot. And then you could even put, I would say, 1, 2, you could probably fit about 6 Snickers bars in there. So that's good news. Just eat them before they melt, because then they're just gonna be a bunch of nuts. And not many people want nuts in their mouth. Seats, love the style. The bolstering is spot on. They almost look like a race seat. You have the ventilation, which will come out on your neck to keep you just fine. Bolstering is great. Full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. Here's your key fob. It's that older style Mercedes-Benz key fob. Flip it around though, you got the AMG badge on the back, which is wonderful. And then you have your Tampa Mercedes-Benz little dog tag here, which is nice. You can wear that around your neck, but plenty of room. I mean, the way that the frame of the windshield kind of comes up, it's gonna help kick that air up. But why don't you come on over to the business end? I wanna show you behind this thick leather wrapped steering wheel and show you what it's gonna be like to drive this AMG GT C convertible. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. You can see the nice brushed aluminum, the AMG badging. It's gonna light up at night and greet you every single time. And then what's gonna greet you every drive is gonna be this beautiful steering wheel. So I'm gonna move my seat back a little bit here, but you can see just how thickly wrapped the steering wheel is. Perfect flat bottom, large paddles to go up and down that 7-speed DCT transmission. And then the gauges are simple and straightforward. The analog tach, analog speedometer, you have that digital display in the center where you could go through different information, which is real easy to do. This car only has 4,602 miles, or excuse me, 8,363 miles, so barely broken in. Great line of sight, especially with that low lung hood. Let me show you what it's like to put the top up. Fairly easy. We're just gonna go ahead and pull on this switch here, and the top is gonna go up. 1, 2, 3. Wait for the chime. I got the chime, and now the top is up. We're not even gonna worry about the trunk. I don't care about the trunk. What I care about is the on-throttle fun. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this AMG GT C for a spin. All right guys, we left Reeve Subaru. We're in the AMG GT C. We got the top down, first gear, on throttle. God! Yeah! What a blast! I'm telling you right now, the sensation, the sound, those pops, the bangs, I'm telling you right now, this AMG GT C is one hell of a roller coaster ride. The feedback coming to the wheel is spot on the money. I have it in Sport Plus mode right now, just to let you know. I'm gonna put the side windows up so you can hear me a little bit more. But boy, oh boy, super smooth, instantaneous power. You're not waiting for turbos. You're really not. On throttle. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do you hear that noise? It sounds glorious. Seats are really supportive, really hold you in. So if you were hoping for something with less bolstering, this has a really high level of bolstering, but nothing like squeeze play crazy, which is good news. Looking out across that hood, amazing. You're basically sitting on the rear axle in this car, and that's what really allows you to feel what the back end of the car is doing. Let you feel more confident, let you feel more comfortable. All right, guys, once again, through some twisty bits, we're gonna have some fun. On throttle. The way it pushes you back in the seat, the way it builds the boost so progressively, it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then the best part is all of the fine touches are your usual Mercedes-Benz touches. It's wonderful in here. The leather, the carbon fiber, it's not a bunch of gloss black, it's not too much carbon fiber. It really is the sweet spot. Two interiors. Looking at across that hood, I love. Who cares about not a lot of trunk space? Who cares about, I don't know, who cares about other cars? Because this thing is a blast to drive. All right, guys, driving down the road. It's great because if you think that the suspension is too firm, you can actually adjust that. And the great news is the paddles are easy to reach. And when you're ready to boogie, she's ready to boogie. On throttle. Unbelievable. Just crazy how fast this car accelerates, all up to 196 miles an hour. That's the insane thing about this whole equation. We have a radar detector in here. It's already been hardwired with a radar detector, so that's what you're hearing with the little buzzes and dings and rings and everything else in here. But great feedback, super smooth. The brakes work phenomenal. They have good initial bite, but then they hold. They're easy to moderate the brake pedal very well, and you're getting just gobs of feedback that just gives you so much confidence. It's ridiculous. All right, guys, once again, we're gonna get on the highway. Since we're by a highway, let's get on the highway, see how she drives. On throttle. Yeah. Wow, you're gonna be able to merge like you've never merged in your whole entire life. Even over the expansion joints, it rides very well, and I have it in the more firm of settings, so that should tell you a lot about how the chassis is so well engineered. But we gotta get back to Reese Subaru and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another amazing day here at Reese Subaru. Definitely got to thank LD, the rest of the crew, Passandro, everybody getting us the keys to this 2018 barely broken in Mercedes AMG GT C convertible. Is this the performance convertible that use pre-owned car special buy? I think if you want to save yourself over $40,000, look at this. You could have this convertible top fun with the twin turbo power performance, and that AMG name really sounds like a win-win-win all the way around. But if it's vehicles like these that you want to keep seeing on Ready's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Ready's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Crown Vic. He's loving this Mercedes. He actually was daydreaming. I had to wake him up during the filming because he was dreaming about driving this car. So sorry I had to wake you up, Victor, but thank you for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.